All right, yo, 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 it's your boy Yoshi Kid Neo, and we are back with more D&D action. And today is our actual session in the World of Boridil, the Ruination of Boridil. And today is going to be mostly roleplay. There's a slight chance that they actually get to fighting, but it's very slight. More than likely, it's going to take a session or two, maybe, in order to get them to where they know who it is they're looking for. But there's multiple different things that they're currently set out to do. The most important of them are I think for the three players, Joe, Kirsten, and Jeffrey. So Jeffrey's looking for the stone that fell from the sky, which once they figure out where that's at, that's definitely a battle. Three-Toe Jim is looking for one of his toes and to overcome whatever challenge that brings, which that is a battle. And then Trina is looking for any signs of a coming war, which actually ties in more to the stone that Lloyd is looking for. So when they find that stone, she's going to end up seeing the comings of war, and it's out of this world. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Like I thought it was like gonna be bad, but it's actually really funny.
All right.
Actually really funny too.
Hold on.
It's your boy Yoshi Kid Neo.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's me. All right. So the last session, super duper easy to recap this one, is that you guys were jumped by a group of shark pirates that were demanding half of the crew and half the cargo of the ship that was transporting you from Port Namat all the way to Bleakbell. They used
D&D sentence I've ever heard. You guys were jumped by shark pirates.
Shark pirates. I know, right? That is super D&D. Oh man. So the sharks wanted half of everything on the ship, essentially, and the cargo, they didn't get any of it, but they did get a few of the crewmates. Not a lot of them, though. I'm pretty sure they only did 3 or 4. But essentially what they were doing was they were taking the crew and putting these rings that did something when they jumped overboard. We'll end up getting into that probably first thing, because Joe, if I remember correctly, you were going to spend time studying the ring to try to make sense of what it was and what it did. So
We can go over that.
So the sharks, you guys started doing battle with them, and it was fairly one-sided. It was obviously a lot of you versus the few of them, but they did call reinforcements. And when it was seen by the sharks that they were definitely going to lose, they decided, we'll take the whole ship. And 4 anchors shot out from underneath the ship and impaled the upper deck and started to drag the entire ship down below. And an act of heroism, our wanted Lloyd decided, fuck it, I'm going to cast a spell, and we're going to get rid of these anchors as best as possible, even though this Inquisitor's staring right at me. Which the Inquisitor definitely saw him cast the magic spell and watched from afar and helped out get rid of the shark pirates. But you guys were successful. You were very, very, very close to losing Trina. But luckily, Dr. Thorpe has some healing up his sleeve, even though the gift of his magics is questionable, to say the least. But other than that,
I think it's less questionable.
He clears his throat as he looks up in the sky and takes the rain in the face.
Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, the ship gets back underway, and we will start our session with, let's see, not these guys. These guys aren't here.
Oh, don't forget, we also were like, okay, Tentacle Boy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then you guys ended up
entire
meeting
army.
Wait,
Like,
Ursula.
yeah, whatever.
yeah.
You're so tough as you're. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys ended up meeting one of Dagon's henchmen, who, gave you a forewarning that if the ship comes back in this territory, or any ship for that matter, comes through this territory, that they will seize it, essentially, and take what they need. And with that, we will begin the session. So as the dust settles, the large, dark shadow underneath the ship starts to move off into the distance. The rain continues to pour. Dr. Thorpe drops to his knees and lets the rain pitter-patter on his face. And Ricard helps you up, Trina, as you have just taken a substantial amount of damage. And then as he finishes doing that, he looks around. He looks towards Lloyd, and then he begins to call out, "For any of you that have been sustained any injuries, please meet me in the mess. I will gather my healer's kit, and I will tend to your wounds." And he looks again towards you, Lloyd, and begins to walk towards the underdeck. A few of the crewmates start to scurry through. Not many crewmates outright died from, being attacked by the sharks. I think only 2 or 3 of them did. But a few of them did jump overboard, and you haven't seen them, except for one. One scurries his way back over the railing. Apparently when he jumped, his stealth check, which was a natural 20, he was able to grab the side and pretty much hold on for dear life for a bit, which was hilarious.
Savage.
They put Whitman down there. So the captain starts to call to the crew. Those uninjured, please get to your stations. We need to make haste and get out of this area before they come back. And
Can I, well, continue.
No, I was just going to say the crew jumps up and they start going towards their various stations and begin doing whatever their duties require, rather.
All right, is the body of the quote-unquote leader still where we first took him out?
Of the shocks? Yes.
Yeah. All right, I want to try and rummage through his
Back
pockets.
on the menu, boys.
Okay. So rummaging through his pockets, you find a handful of kelp, and you find another one of those rings that Three-Toed Jim took from a different shark. As you touch the ring, you feel the surge of magical energy.
Take that ring and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
And now, is their people's meat normal to eat? Would you say?
The shark people?
Yeah. Or is that considered humanoid?
They definitely have a ton of humanoid features. You being a doctor, you realize that, they definitely aren't human. As you observe the body, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Okay.
Oh. Those dice are deceiving. You have no idea which one is which.
Right?
So as you look over the body, you notice that the skeletal structure is very, very akin to that of, a normal humanoid creature, that being, either human, dwarf, and elf. It has a very similar skeletal structure, And you realize that eating one of these sharkin would be probably borderline the same as eating like an ogre. More than likely, it could be or it could be done in a survival situation, but no one would go hunting for this type of food at all. No one would ever be like, you know what I want today? I want some sharkin. Let's go find it.
All right. Is the captain busy at this moment? Will I be able to like wave him over?
He is currently at the wheel of the ship, and he's currently pretty involved in commanding the crew, getting them. But he is within like 10 feet of you because you're on the upper deck.
Okay.
So you could definitely get his attention,
Well,
but he probably won't come to you.
I'll yell out to the captain. Captain, what would you say we need to do with these bodies here?
And he, as with he keeps one hand on the wheel as he turns around to look at you, and he kind of shrugs. Honestly, I don't think that their meat is going to taste any better than the rations that we have. And he looks around. What hear you? And the men all kind of look around, and you can see the looks of disgust on their face. And they kind of shake their head. One of them actually runs to the rails and just, starts to retch. And noted. Yes, I believe we should just toss them overboard. Unless, of course, you wish to study them further.
Yeah, I think I'll study this one for a little bit before we throw him overboard.
Very well. If you would do so out of the sight of the passengers and my men. And he calls one of them over. Help Dr. Thorpe bring it down to the cargo hold. Prepare him a table. And the sailor nods and runs over. And, this is a really, really big boy. He is a large creature. So it's definitely taking a lot of power in order to move them. The barbarians end up coming over, cracking their knuckles and their necks. Allow us to help you.
And nod and smile. Thank you. All the help is
I'll
appreciated.
come with you, Dr. Thorpe. I am too tired to do anything else, so I'm gonna follow him and find a barrel to sit on while he's doing his examination.
Okay.
Very well.
And I'm gonna prestidigitate all the blood and gore off of me.
All right. Easy enough. So the barbarians help you move everything. You go through the mess, and behind or to the side of the sort of kitchen area, there's a trap door that opens up and leads into the cargo hold. And to the left of that is kind of like a sort of an elevator sort of system made for cargo. So they put the body onto that and they hoist it down and they go down the trap door to get to the cargo hold. And then they clear off one of the tables and put a couple sheets down. And then you guys set the sharkin on top.
And,
Well, we'll leave you to it. We're going to go see if we can make ourselves useful and perhaps repairing some of the damages that those large anchors sustained on the ship.
right. Thank you again.
Both the barbarians nod their head as well as the crewmate, and they head up. And you can hear the captain shouting orders. Now that the ship you start to feel is moving underway, the crew's getting busy gathering utensils and things like that. So while you guys are doing all of that, what is Three-Toed Jim, Lloyd, and Kai doing? If anything.
I was identifying that ring.
That'll take about 10-ish minutes or so. Is there anything from Lloyd or Kai?
Did I see? Was I able to see when?
Thorpe and them went?
Yeah, no, not Thorpe. The guest. I can't think of his name. You just said it.
Ricard?
Ricard. Yeah. Did I see him look at Lloyd?
I would say, yeah, he was pretty much looking around, but he stared at Lloyd for a little bit longer than everybody else.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to Lloyd and just kind of stand next to him and say, well, tap him on the shoulder and be like, I think you're in trouble. I don't think he liked that too much.
You there, Jeffrey? Jeffrey! Okay. He's
Is
messing
he in a
with his...
basement?
He's talking, but it's not, yeah.
Oh.
While you figure that out and keep trying, I'll stop once you get it all figured out. But essentially, Jim, as you're studying the ring and trying to figure it out, after 10 minutes, oh, he's here.
No. Yes, no,
All right.
maybe so.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say I'm aware to Kai, and I'll deal with that moment. I'd like to speak with the captain first. I walk up to the captain.
I'm gonna tag along with him.
Okay. And as you walk up the stairs to the spot where the captain is currently steering the ship, he glances over you, or over towards you. I didn't know we had a mage on board. Would have been nice to have had that information. Please do tell me you're registered.
I can't really say that I am. I am quite new to these lands, so just wanted to see where we stand,
Well,
essentially.
essentially, I'm harboring a fugitive. And now that one of the Inquisitors know, he more than likely will question what I know about you. And I do intend to tell him the truth, that you deceived me. But I will make every conscious decision to give a good rapport as possible, as you did save the entire ship after all, even if you did it with illegal magics. And just so we're all on the same page, I do not mind arcane users at all. It's the church, it's the empire that has a problem with them. I've had many, many voyages that the only reason I still breathe is because of those that practice the arcane. And he bows down to you. I am forever indebted to you and your friends.
Well, you're quite welcome. Thank you for the ship and your services. I do have a few questions about those creatures. Have you ever encountered them before?
He shakes his head. I've heard tales of shark folk, but I've never actually seen one face to face. So I thought it's more of a sailor's tale. Maybe kind of like how the myth of the mermaid used to be, until I had actually seen one. But I've never seen sharks that walk on two legs, that can throw a harpoon at you, that can speak, even.
What do you plan on doing on the way back? Are you going to go back immediately, or stick to the shore? They said they'd be coming for you.
Well, more than likely, we will have cargo pickups that we must take back from Bleakbell. Depending on the load, we might be able to stay a few extra days, and perhaps pay for your services on the way back to on the way back to Port Namont, if that's a possibility, and if that is where you're headed. If not, I fear we have no choice, for we are not destined to be in Bleakbell for but maybe a day or two now that we have to take on repairs.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be going back the same way or not. In the event that we are not, I'd say stick to the shoreline as much as you can and take the long way.
That was
They
my
can't-
intention, but I honestly do not know if that would even matter. Do you remember what
would
the
offer-
tentacled freak had said? They have our scent.
Yes.
And if it's one thing I know is that sharks have a very remarkable scent.
They do.
How soon do y'all plan on leaving?
As I said, perhaps a day or two after we get our repairs to the ship. But it also depends on how much cargo Bleakbell has for us to transport. After all, that is how my men and I get paid.
So knowing that this thing could come back, you're still gonna go?
He shrugs. He's like, what choice do we really have? We could request aid of a naval vessel, and perhaps maybe the Inquisitors will come.
What's the likelihood of that, though?
I guess it really depends on how Ricard's report goes.
We'll talk to him, won't we, Lloyd? And I kind of slap Lloyd in the arm in a friendly gesture.
Oh yes, yeah, we definitely will. Captain, how far away do you think we are now, currently?
Perhaps 2.5, 3 days left of travel. I haven't been able to survey the damages, so I don't know if we actually have taken on any damage that would cause us to sail at a slower pace or risk the structural integrity of the ship.
Thank you, and I know you will have to do what you have to do, but I appreciate the kindness, and I head below deck with an motion to Kai.
He follows.
Okay. So you, Three-Toed Jim, you have found the Ring of Anchoring. Essentially, what you can tell from it is that when you wear the ring for a prolonged amount of time, essentially becoming attuned to it, you can breathe underwater. But should you wear the ring before becoming attuned to it, the moment that you hit the water and become submerged in it, you end up becoming unbearably heavy and begin to sink at a very, very fast pace underwater.
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning part of it. Did you say, like, when you're attuned to it, what happens?
Oh, when you become actually attuned to it, you can breathe underwater.
Oh,
But should you submerge yourself before becoming attuned, you sink.
cool.
And amongst the
I-
corpses, you find two of them, and then Dr. Thorpe has found one as well.
I will attune to one of them.
Okay. The three-toed gem puts on the ring and begins the attunement process.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
One with the ring. I am one with the ring. Ring is one with me. I am one with the ring. The ring is one with me.
I like it. All right, so Kai and Lloyd, you guys head down and head towards Ricard's.
I stop before I get too close and motion Kai and ask. He doesn't necessarily know that you're with me, so maybe I should do this alone. As to not
Okay.
incriminate anybody else, so because he doesn't think I'm connected to you guys. But we shall see. In the time being, we'll try to get to shore and see what happens from there.
Okay. And then I go see what Dr. Thorpe is doing.
And then I head over closer to, down the deck towards our Inquisitor friend.
All right, so as you go towards his door and you knock on it, just a moment. And after probably 30 seconds or so, the door opens and you see Ricard stand in the doorway staring at you. He has a few healer's kit and medical supplies at the ready. And do you require medical attention there?
I look over myself. I did get stabbed in the leg, but it looks like I'm. Oh no, I we rested, so I guess not. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you though.
Then what can I help you for?
I came down here to ask what our standing is.
I'll be honest, I don't have too much of an issue with you personally. I admire the fact that you took such a risk in what you did in order to save the ship. But I still have to report it to Lord Gower, as it is part of my initiation to the church and to the Inquisition itself. I will try to be as favorable in my report as possible, but I cannot make any guarantees, especially given the fact that you fit the description rather well of a wanted wizard.
Where will... So
You cut out.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I cut
Okay, yeah, it's you or me. Yeah, it's either you or myself. Probably myself, because the connection hotel's bad.
Gotcha. He said he would make the report as favorable as possible, but it's going to be very hard because he can almost confirm that you're the wanted wizard that Gower had told him about.
That's concerning, but also, I should say, at least you won't be trying to take me in on the boat, I should say.
After seeing what you're capable of, I would not risk my own life in doing so. I definitely do not believe that I could take you on 1v1, and I will not attempt to do so. Telling you this puts me in a very vulnerable position, but I would hope that if you are truly good-natured, that we can go our separate ways once we reach Bleakbell.
That's what I was intending. I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to get away from here, to be honest.
I- I have already sent a message to Lord Gower, and he has asked me to request for your registration number, which I will assume you do not have.
Correct.
And is your name truly Frederick?
Let's yes. Let's just use that name for now.
Noted. Well, Frederick, allow me to tend to any wounds that you may have. And, as I have said, I will make my report as favorable as possible. But I can almost guarantee that Gower will be sending mage hunters for you. And it may take them a few days, especially if they come into contacts with the shark pirates that we had just fought off.
And those creatures aren't. Those creatures are natural. They're not magical at all. They wouldn't have an issue with them.
He kind of shakes his head and shrugs. In all honesty, this is my first time ever experiencing shark humanoid folk, but I do know that there are creatures of the sea, merfolk and triton, that are not magical. They're as magical, I guess, as your halfling friend, if you think about it. Yes, their physique is quite different, but it's still similar to us humans.
Another question for you. The town, on the way here on the way into the last town, to Port Town, I encountered some very strange individual that was screaming through a cage and almost pulling himself through, screaming about a light or a star. Do you know anything about that? If I may be so bold to ask.
What exactly was he asking for?
Oh Lord.
I can't hear anything. I think it's just me cutting out.
I don't think that was you.
No, I think
Oh,
that was
wasn't
me.
it? Okay.
I fixed it though, I think.
Rickard's
Okay.
having an EXT error.
Oh man, Lloyd is in the Matrix.
Nah. He looks at you and you can see a puzzled expression is behind his mask, just based on his eyes and how he kind of tilts his head. I had not heard any report of someone calling out to the stars and things like that. Where did he say he came from?
He didn't quite say. Some of the local guard dragged him off. Just started going stark raving mad.
And it was during the solar eclipse, you say?
Yes, it was.
Very
and I've heard
fascinating.
other reports. I've heard other reports across the waters here. More instances of that is occurring. I'm honestly not that familiar with this land. I just was wondering if this is a church problem or a Inquisition problem at all.
Well, they are sending me to Bleakbell to discover, if I can, this very thing. So perhaps, yes, it is definitely an Inquisition's issue. Otherwise, I do not have much information about it. I know that visitors have gone to Bleakbell and have come back a matter of weeks later, claiming to have seen things, to experienced things that are not natural. But it wasn't
I think
until...
this man.
Oh, go ahead.
That happened until the eclipse that happened recently. Yeah, that may have been a trigger or something. So, don't know.
I sense foul magics at work, in all honesty. But that is why they've only sent one. If we send an entire troop, the town would not give us the information we seek. And perhaps we might drive off whatever force is leading this madness into Bleakbell.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we wouldn't have any trouble with each other on the rest of the trip. So,
No.
thank you for your hospitality and for the healing you're offered. I think I'm good, and I'll leave you now. And I walk away.
Okay. And he follows you, closing his door behind him, and begins to set up on the mess. Speaking of messes, I need to take Rosie out real quick to the bathroom. So I know Dr. Thorpe and Trina are in the cargo hold with one of the shark bodies. And Three-Toe Jim is doing his thing with the ring, which, Jim, we will say that you are attuned to it at this point.
Fresh. Okay. I want to dunk my head in some water and see if I can breathe.
You can.
Sweet. Who should I go and find? I go and find Kai. Hey, Cobra.
Now all four of us are in the same.
Yeah,
Room?
everybody's in the same room.
Yeah, I think we're in, because I went to go find Dr. Thorpe
Yeah.
to go annoy him.
Nice.
What are we gonna do about this Inquisitor person?
Oh, so I got a question. Nobody knows why y'all can't do magic here? It's just
What we've learned
law?
so far is that they think that wizard magic, kind of mages, wizardry, that kind of thing, it's not gifted by a divinity, is considered heresy or something terrible. So they're killing everyone that learned natural magic rather than obtained it.
And so why are you not dead? And he points towards you, Trina.
Because I was gifted my magic by goddesses.
So as long as you're gifted, you can stay alive?
I don't know. The thing is their logic doesn't seem very sound because the goddess that they follow is the goddess of all magic, including the wizards and the natural magic. So
Yeah, that's
think-
what I'm saying. Like,
I th-
if she's the goddess of magic, then technically she gifted magic to everybody that's able to utilize it, right?
that's the
She
story.
gifted the world magic, and if you have the ability to find it, I would call that a gift.
I think they're just doing what humans normally do and they're twisting things in favor of what they want.
Goddamn zealots.
Therefore, they have a prejudice against people who don't have any god-gifted magic.
All right, I'm back.
But I ask again, what are we gonna do with this guy? I don't think we can kill him or else the Inquisition will know.
Well,
You know, I'm sure he contacted the guy already. The Gower guy.
And
he
I
did.
wonder if
go
he
down to his
knows
room
that
and
we're
hurry.
connected.
Oh no, Lloyd went to go talk to him.
Have you been calling him Lloyd?
Have you been calling him Lloyd?
No?
I look
In
at
front of people?
I look
Kai?
at Kai with a raised eyebrow.
No.
Yeah, me
Oh
neither.
god.
I proceed to roll up my sleeves and start like lifting up the arms of the corpse and observing it, like running my like 2 fingers like across like the scales and everything like that in the skin.
Okay.
Fascinating. First time seeing one of these creatures. I like open the mouth and observe the teeth.
Yeah, they are sharp as a shark. There are several rows of them, and one of them you see is made out of gold.
Big.
And is there like a knife nearby, or can I just take out a knife that I have on me or something like that?
You can take a knife out.
Can I just punch it out
Yeah,
I
strength
pull out a
check.
knife.
for a knife? Oh, what's check? Sorry.
Strength.
All right.
No way.
Oh, well.
Choo-choo.
That's funny. So as
Hey,
Dr.
halfling.
Thorpe unsheaths a knife,
As I do it,
and
I like stroke my socks. Like, come on, lady luck.
Three-Toe Jim holds his hand in front of your blade and goes, 1 second. And he strokes the sock and then, wha-bam! Punches the shark and the tooth, as well as many others, as the head absorbs the blow and turns to the side in a very, very quick motion. Many teeth scatter onto the floor, including one with a little glint of gold to it.
You can have that. And I point at the gold tooth.
Jim, I saw you grab one of those rings. What are they?
Oh, check this out. And I like scurry off and find like a jug of water. Am I able to find like, I don't know what this place has, like jars?
Yeah, there would be barrels that are full of drinking water.
I go and like grab like a cup and I go and I like chug and like keep the water in my mouth forever and I can breathe water now.
Fascinating.
And yeah, as weird as it is to see a halfling like hold his nose with a mouthful of water and begin speaking to you, and you can see him breathing normally.
As I like see him doing that, I pull out the ring, looking at it, and then look at him. Interesting.
I have another one.
Do you mind if I take it?
Ooh.
Alright, fight to the death for it. No, I'm kidding. How do you want to settle this? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna give it to one of you, but I think you guys have to decide between yourselves who wants it. Charlie?
We can rock, paper, scissors for it.
All right.
Ooh, I know. We'll see who can hold their breath the longest.
Okay.
Constitution check.
Kind of dumb, but okay.
And as they're doing that, I still have my knife out and I start heading towards the chest of the shark while
Okay.
observing them.
We're doing advantage, right?
Nope. Oh,
Doesn't look
I
like it
lose.
matters.
Kai
damn it.
takes in a big breath. Trina does the same. And as you guys are holding it, about the minute 20 seconds mark comes, and Trina like grips the table, and Kai's just sitting there, like staring off into space, looks over
Oh my-
at you, and he like waves casually, and then takes out his sword and starts to just kind of play with it. And Trina ends up getting to the point where she's like sort of like kneeled over the table and like clenched fist and like just rubbing into the table because she's so uncomfortable before she finally and Kai continues to hold his breath. And
I didn't want to breathe
Three-Toed
underwater
Jim-
anyway.
Three-Toe Gem gives him the ring, and he looks at it, and he continues to hold his breath.
I was gonna say, well, it looks like you need it more, Trina. And I like hold it out to her. And then, do you reach for it?
Thank you. No, I
As
don't.
you reach for it, I snatch it back.
I don't.
I say, but Kai wins. And hand it to Kai.
Kai, you now have
Yeah,
the
I
ring.
pop back up. So how does this work?
You gotta do this. You gotta say this a bunch of times. I'm one with the ring is one with me. And then, do that for like an hour. And then you can breathe water. You have to put it on your finger. Oh. Don't go in the water before you're done with that ritual, because then you'll sink.
Okay, I grab the ring and immediately sit down where I'm at and just start chanting
Okay.
the phrase.
I walk over to Trina and hand her the ring that I have.
All that.
Here. I don't need it.
Hey, do you guys know if do we have other cool magic items?
No. And I go back to the shark corpse.
I feel like there is a magic item in this group that's not being used.
And what do you think it is?
I just have a feeling. Sorry.
As he says that, I'm like lining my dagger up with the under like the chest cavity of the corpse, and like.
Hey, do you know our magic items? Are those illegal?
I would assume that they would be in question, but not sure. I would assume it would be any magic that is expelled from your body, rather than an object itself. But that would be a double standard, wouldn't it?
I suppose.
Let's see. All right. As I finish that sentence, I try to cut into the chest, like try to pretty much like just dissect this corpse.
Can I try and make a necklace out of this golden shark tooth?
Yeah, definitely. There's plenty of like materials and twine and things around that you could end up using.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm like cutting into it, and then I pull out my journal, and like I'm like just taking notes as I'm like observing the body.
Oh, Trina, the Mr. Guy, the dude, he's healing people. Used to look pretty cut up. Might be worth giving him a
Indeed.
visit.
Oh yeah, and I gave her that ring.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Dr. Thorpe. That wasn't necessary. What if you need to breathe underwater?
I have my ways, and I'm like still cutting into the corpse.
Fascinating. Even after these few weeks together, I'm still learning more and more about you.
Well, it's not much to me. Just a doctor who's obsessed with his research. And I'm like just opening up the skin cavity of the chest.
I would assume we all kind of look around and go, right.
Yeah, I kind of just
With your
look
triple-bladed sword and your ability to heal, and
right?
Okay,
I kind
hey,
of pat him on the back while he's cutting open the shark and be like, "Okay, Dr. Thorpe."
He just looks at you and smiles, and then goes right back to cutting.
All right, I'll put on the ring and attune to it, and then I'll go see the duder for more healing.
All right. So he is healing everybody and doing his thing. So when it comes to your time, he ends up go ahead and heal up after he starts to mess with your wounds and shark bites and things like that with his healer's kit. And then you hear him say a prayer to Mistra, and he heals you for 12 HPs.
Are you adding it or am I?
I can do it. I'm already there.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's much
You're
appreciated.
welcome. Before you leave, are you acquainted with Frederick, the other wizard?
No, just from being on the ship together. We met briefly when we came on board.
And where did you say you got your magic from? You said it was from a divine power, correct?
It is. Correct.
What god or goddess do you worship?
Well, I told your friend this. Gower, right? Yeah, Gower. I told Gower this, but I worship the Morrigan.
He kind of looks at you and then looks off and then comes back and meets your gaze. I do not believe that I have heard much of the Morrigan, but I do believe that they are a lesser god, are they not?
Tomato, tomato. Maybe lesser to you, but not to me. But yes, the Morrigan are pretty reclusive. They don't tend to follow all the same... Well, not follow, but they tend to be picky and choosy on who their worshippers are and who they bless with magic.
That makes sense why they are still a lesser god. You need worshippers to gain power, but perhaps maybe their portfolio does not allow them to gain such followers. What are their edicts? I'm quite curious.
I'm curious too.
You can tell he's puzzled because he tilts his head a little bit.
Kidding.
You do not know what your goddesses wish of you?
No, I'm just kidding. It was a
Gotcha.
poor joke, I guess.
Oh.
Well, as of right now, I mean, what I'm doing for my goddesses is I'm trying to help them see what's going on in Bleakbell. See what's causing all of these issues, and then they sensed something is coming. Something big.
Well then perhaps maybe we can work together, for my orders line up very, very much with yours. I am to figure out what this madness that has befallen Bleakbell, and bring that back to Gower, so that he can send the proper amount of resources to rid Bleakbell of this madness.
Understandable. After having that run-in, I'm concerned that it has something to do with the Demon Lords. I don't know much about the history, but I know that it pretty much almost destroyed our world the first time. Or, well, not the first time, but last time.
Correct. Yes, that demon incursion was one of the mightiest that our world has gone through. At least that is what Mistra has told me.
Speaking of, how much
Apparently-
do you know about Mistra?
Why, I would say that I know quite a bit. I'm no expert, of course, as I am not in her inner circle by any means. She has blessed me with a finite amount of magic to support the Inquisition.
She sounds like a wonderful goddess.
I would say
But do you mind if I ask a question without hopefully taking offense or without offending you?
strokes his chin. Usually when you preface a question with that, you almost undoubtedly offend whoever it is you're asking.
Well, it's not more of an offense, it's just curiosity, because isn't the goddess Mystra of all magic?
Yes, but her edicts are changing, as her portfolio is as well. And she wants the world to change with it. But in order for that to happen, we must reset those that have magic. Divine gifts are all that she possesses. Those without these divine gifts, those that harness the arcane for themselves, they are greedy. They do not give back to their communities. They use their magic to take. And Mystra has seen the error in her ways. That is why the Thurian Empire, that's why the churches have began this hunt, this witch hunt, this wizard hunt, whatever you wish to call it. This eradication of those that practice the perverted arts. It is a reset, so that we can all live under Mystra's will and embrace her magic.
Well, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree on that then.
Yes, I guess we will. Although, it's hard to disagree when you know it to be a goddess's will.
But is it? I mean, has she told you herself?
Mystra does not grace me with her voice, but I can sense her will through the very magic that she has allowed me to cast.
I just wonder if, there might be multiple interpretations of this will. Because it sounds like genocide. And normally, gods and goddesses don't
He
really
holds a
want
hand
to
up.
lose.
You are thinking rationally, and faith is not a rational course of life. Do you not do as your goddesses tell you without question?
Depends on what they're telling me to do. I may have a question or two, but yes, I do tend to follow what they ask of me because we're aligned on that. But they've
And yet
never
you
asked
still-
me to commit mass genocide.
Perhaps because they are a lesser god. They do not have the power to do something like that. And
Or
it is not
perhaps-
genocide, it is punishing those that have wronged my goddess. You can put whatever label you wish. The propaganda does not matter. What matters is that the truth of my goddess is that the arcane magics must come to an end.
Well, as I said, I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. But I'm glad that currently we're both on the hunt for what's going on in Bleakbell.
Yes. And hopefully we can settle what's going on in Bleakbell. But I don't foresee it being very easy.
I don't either. Not with the way that it sounded.
Well, if that is all of your questions for now, I have other crewmates to tend to.
Yes, I'll let you go back to your healing. Thank you again for your help and for answering my questions.
He nods his head and goes to tending the next person. So let me do something. There it is. I'm about to add that ring of anchoring to y'all's character sheet. Who is attuned to it? Three-Toed Jim, Trina, and Kai.
Yarr.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me. Where is it? I have to import it.
Yeah, when you first
And
said ring of anchoring, I thought you meant like it anchored you to their ship, so it like drags you into the water. I was like, I don't think we want those rings.
that makes sense.
See, if you want to be technical, I mean, anchoring if you don't attune to it. So you get dragged underwater if you don't attune to it.
Right?
Okay. So you are attuned. All right. All right. So, Dr. Thorpe, as you're going through and dissecting the Sharkin, pretty much like you had assumed, the body is very humanoid and it's very, whether or not this is natural or some type of subnatural cause that has caused or created this creature. You've never heard of creatures like this before, but to be fair, you also haven't really studied much of the sea, and many stories that you've come across in your day from the sea are usually really weird and bizarre in nature. So maybe it's just a part of that.
Now, am I able to like study this body, see if there are like any viable weaknesses or anything like that?
I will give you a medicine check.
Okay.
Since, yeah, and depending on... Actually, what I'll do is yeah, I've got the DC set in my head. Go ahead and roll another medicine check. We'll give you advantage since you spent this time literally dissecting them and stuff like that. But from what you can tell, is that based on like the eyes, they are able to see even in complete darkness, even if you were to take their eyes away. The strength of their against creatures that have already had blood drawn, it to where they are a very fearsome foe in very low light situations to complete darkness. And more than likely this sense aids them in able to tracking prey even across long distances. In terms of weaknesses though, the skin, the scales and stuff are, you know, they're decently sturdy, but it's not like unlike any other shark. The biology remains somewhat the same based on your limited knowledges of sharks and stuff like that. It doesn't seem to be like any sort of like extra magical protection or any other barrier besides their scales. So they don't have any weaknesses per se in terms of like certain attacks and things like that.
All right.
But you can, yeah, like I said, you can tell that they are a very adept hunter. Their sense of smell essentially will cover their eyesight if they were to not be able to see for whatever reason.
All right, I note all that in my journal. And of course, I continue dissecting, studying further. Is there anybody down there with me?
Unless the others have left, I believe everyone's there but Lloyd.
And Trina.
And Kirsten?
Kirstrina is, she's gone. Kirstrina is gone.
Yep.
Well then, this thing here, definitely something haven't seen before, but Obviously, the shark has very high sense. Fascinating. It seems that the rest of the crew might have a problem on their way back. And I'm like, still like observing like the kidneys and everything like that, and all the body parts in the corpse as I'm like pulling them out and slowly cutting them out, and taking notes on the side.
All right.
And Kai's still down there with me, right?
I believe so.
So, what are you going to get yourself into? As like slowly cutting out a kidney, trying to be as precise as possible.
Uh,
I mean,
well, hold on. It takes an hour to tune the ring, right?
I usually, in theory, it's supposed to be done over a short rest, which usually takes an hour. So I just do anything between 10 minutes to an hour, just because of the fact that we've changed the short rest rules. And
Oh, okay.
because there's threats right now, it's not too big a deal.
So yeah, well, I'd say other than getting this thing working, well, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm surprised that you sat in one spot for as long as you have. Usually you wander. Still cutting.
Usually I wander? Isn't that what kids do? Don't they wander, right?
Indeed. It is just surprising. Oh, no, it's okay. Hey, have you ever had...
And you see him kind of making like a little thinking face. Can't say that I have. Is it good?
I've never had it. But observing this corpse has me a little off-putting because looks they have humanoid appendages, but it's shark at heart. Looking.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Never. Heard stories. Didn't think they actually existed, but live in the world of magic, so it's not too surprising if it is real. And this guy, I slapped like 3 pats on the arm. This guy is definitely could be tough, but once again, still conflicting. After all, it does seem humanoid. So would it be crossing a bridge if we were to try the meat?
Oh, I get what you're saying. I mean, not really, right?
That is what I'm trying to figure out as I'm like take my hands like out of the chest cavity and like fold my arm and like have my other arm, my hand like under my chin, like just in a thinking pose, so trying to figure it out.
Let's do a song called Open Roads.
Is Jim down there?
And what we're doing right now is we're previewing.
Sure. I'm chilling. Kind of questionable to me.
Except, but there's that curiosity. The captain and his men, though they were repulsed by the idea, they weren't against it. Eating. Indeed.
So,
And they weren't against what? You.
Well,
more like,
if they were
you know,
they were weren't against the idea. They, but
no, I don't think that's what they said. I think they said, and you know, seems kind of gross, like human with fishy smell. I don't know. You know sharks pee
Yeah.
out their skin, right?
Right?
Indeed, exactly.
You
Not point
know
to
sharks pee out their skin, right?
just like fish in general swim around in their own feces.
Yeah, but they don't pee out their skin.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well,
Look at you, man.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, it seems like you're curious about this, so you try it, let us know what you think, and we just kind of go about it from there.
I kind of give Kaya sheesh look.
I mean, I'm always down to try new things, but I would say, well, no, I don't want to, I wouldn't say that. Never mind.
Oh, speak your mind. This is all a study.
No, my brother always said to know when to talk. This might be one of those moments where I shouldn't talk.
Oh, no. Say what you have to say. I won't take offense.
I kind of wander off.
Very well. If you two think it's a bad idea, then it's a bad idea. All right then.
You eat everything you kill?
I do not. But it is quite curious though, because it is a shark, but has humanoid appendages. It brings up the question.
You know, I think eating a minotaur would probably be better.
But it would be, wouldn't it be, would it be?
I kind of yell from where I'm at and say, no, it isn't. Trust me.
Or maybe an Aarakocra, because they'll be like chicken and human. Or even like fish people, but shark people, man. No one eats shark.
I'm gonna have to try my luck on this one, just in case. And I start cutting a little more into like where the liver is. Everything. I am very curious, but I have a gut feeling that it's not a good idea.
That guy was like alive and talking like 5 minutes ago.
Exactly. That's why I have a gut feeling. It's not a good idea. You know what? I drop it and stop messing with it. I think I'm done here. And wash my hand like with some water, because there was like blood all over my forearms and my hands.
Alive and talking like 5.
I think I got everything I need to know. So, what are your plans for the rest of this ride?
Hopefully nothing. I kind of thought that was the idea the whole time, you know?
I would assume that you'd be hanging up with your barbarian buddies up there, as I like gesture up there.
Oh, because we're all the same and we're all friends. I'm just kidding.
Well, you two seem to get along.
Yeah, they wanted to arm wrestle me until I like picked up the anchor
Picked?
or like pushed it off.
Yeah. Well, at least you have some comrades that you can at least share stories with.
Yeah. I just hope to find my toe.
Right. So, what do you think? Fred had a conversation with the buddy over there about.
Probably like, hey, please don't kill me and stuff. And then he was probably like, well, you know, I probably have to. And he's probably like, but I saved you. And then he was probably like, yeah, I know, so I'm gonna try and be nice, but, you know, I don't want to get in trouble either. So I might give you a head start. And then he's probably like, fine, because there's nothing he can really do about it. And like the guy is probably not about to be like, hey, I'm gonna kill you right now because he saw Lloyd is like, I mean, Freddy, I mean, whatever, is probably like way stronger, and he probably also thinks we're with him. So he knows that he's flipping done if he. So that's probably how that went.
Well, I'm like drying off my hands now and like redoing my dress shirt. Yes, does sound like him. Well, I suppose I shall figure out what I should do with this body then, that I'm finished.
Hey, are we alone down in wherever we are?
In terms of just you guys, yes. There are no crew or
I
anything
kind of
like
go.
that.
So like, we're all like cool with taking out these fanatics if they come at us, right?
Well, as long as it doesn't get in the way of my research, which they seem to want to get in the way of my research, if it comes to it, we might have no choice. And plus, we have a wanted felon in our party. So it could complicate things regardless. And the new guy, the freshman, is what I will call him. He will report everything he sees.
You can't see anything if you don't have eyes.
But
Which means you can't report anything. Just
but maybe
odd.
maybe he has some sort of beacon that notifies where he's gotten into an encounter. Perhaps. Maybe there's something,
Maybe.
some sort of tracking
Well,
for any of their
so
recruits.
here's the deal: we're definitely gonna be hunted soon.
Indeed.
Because if he's alive right now, he definitely already talked to the guy, Gower.
And also brings my curiosities to this. And I reach in my pocket and pull out that seal that Gower gave me.
The blue star of Mistra.
Mm-hmm. Still brings my curiosity to this. Not sure what to do with it. I feel like I might need to keep this for some
I
point.
think you should pretend to really like it. And like pretend you're doing all your magic around that. And then like say that you're now Mr. Person or whatever. I feel like lying's a good idea here.
Well, it would be a good cover. Otherwise, I have a few other tricks up my sleeve that I could use if we end up back in the corner. So, as long as this incident with Frederick doesn't get us all killed, or get us all potentially killed, we shouldn't have to worry about that.
I think it's kinda gonna. It's gonna get someone killed.
And let's hope it's not us.
It's either us or whoever we kill. Like, for sure.
You're not wrong.
I guess we don't really have to kill them. But like,
There's always talking.
but you know, when I get angry, I don't usually take prisoners. I kind of killed a dead guy last time after I killed an anchor. So, gonna be honest, I don't know
Well.
how much life preserving I can do.
All we can do is continue to pursue our own individual goals for now. Me with my research. Frederick, I'll hold up air quotes, with the finding of that star, and you with your toes. Not too sure what Kai and Trina are up to, but thinking they're just along for the ride. Either way, let us enjoy this peace while we have it. I'm sure we'll deal with the problem when it comes. And then,
And I'm like, yeah, good idea. And then I start going.
and I started like cleaning like the blades and utensils I was using to dissect.
Alrighty.
A Billy of tea.
Unless there's any other RP that anyone wants to do, which I would assume there might be, since no one's talked to Lloyd yet. But that has a question mark on it. I'm not sure.
Lloyd.
I'm gonna go hunt for Lloyd, and if he's by himself, then I want to talk to him. But if not, then I am gonna wait until we're alone.
Okay. Lloyd, what do you do after you finish talking with Ricard?
I would go up to the top of the ship and see if there's anything I could fix.
I assume fix with mending? Okay.
Cat's out of the bag. Fuck it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, the captain and the crew, they go, yeah, there's definitely some stuff, and start showing you different things that you're eating. Is they are putting pieces of wood where those anchors had impaled and having you mend small pieces of it, almost like you're welding. Let's see.
Okay.
As long as the breaker tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimension, you mend it. Yeah, I would say you're able to essentially use mending kind of like a welding torch in a way. You just have to cast it over and over and over to do it.
Okay.
Which actually, does it say? Let me look at something. Oopsie. Didn't want to do that. Why is my shit not working? Okay. Let me look at what mending says exactly. I think its cast time is 1 minute. So it does take a while. But essentially you are doing it. Yeah, it takes a minute for you to cast mending, I guess. Is that right? Yeah. Alright, so yeah, you cast mending. While they're using hammer and nails and things like that to secure boards, you go behind and you start mending everything. And we'll say you do that for, you know, a fair amount of time. Like, I mean, what else are you really going to do on the ship? Especially now that the cat's out of the bag that you're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
But the crew is very appreciative to have your skills, even if, oh, it just logged me out. I knew I was having trouble. There we go. So yeah, you're mending, and you're kind of on your own. Every now and then a crewmate comes by. So Trina, it's really up to you, if you want to go and speak with him.
I'm gonna look around, and then I'm just gonna be like, well, Fred, thank you for helping us fight against the sharks.
You're quite welcome.
And then in a little bit of a quieter tone, I'm gonna ask him, how did your conversation go with Ricardo?
He is going to report me still, but he's going to put in a good word, I should say. Put me in a good light as best he can.
These
Don't.
people.
Yeah, I believe he's already sent a message to Gower, so.
Okay. Does he know that? Does he suspect that you know us?
No. I said I did not.
Interesting.
But,
Well,
yeah.
I guess that went about as it could. I had assumed that he would try to kill you.
Well, he admitted that he wasn't as strong as I was, so he was too wary to fight me.
Do you believe him though?
Honestly, yeah, but he could be bluffing. But I would expect mage hunters on me relatively quick.
Well, hopefully they come by boat, and then those shark pirates get them.
One might hope.
All right. Well, I'll let the others know, and then we'll try to steer clear until we land.
Sounds good.
Be safe.
As well.
Okay. And I guess I'll head back down and let everyone else know.
Okay.
But quietly, so no one else.
Noted.
Curious. Well, I look at Jim. You guessed correctly.
Oh, weird.
Well, I will leave it to you all to make that decision if you think it's the correct decision to make. The putting in the ground kind of decision of our companion.
I look around. Are we still alone?
Yes.
Okay. I tell them relatively quietly. I think that would be a really bad decision to try and kill him now. I mean, he's supposedly already reported it, and now it's just going to be more suspicious if he suddenly dies or disappears.
Of course. Which would make Fred even more suspicious.
Mm.
And they will probably come a lot stronger than what they intend to.
Exactly. I think at this point it would just make it worse if we attempted to eliminate any problems.
Best decision would be going our separate ways with that freshman. And hopefully he doesn't shadow us from a distance, which makes things even more complicated.
Yes, that might be relatively complicated to get rid of. A way where his searching and our searching can be done separately, and then we can quote unquote promise to meet him up later. He knows and is aware of the fact that I'm looking for the issues that are going on in Bleakbell. And he says they align with what his goddess has ordered as well.
Perhaps I have a reason to speak to him further than I already have. So I guess it's good that you and Fred were the ones to talk to him. Especially since I don't want him gazing upon me in suspicion.
True.
That would make things even more complicated.
I hope to not get into another debate with him. These zealots are something else.
Also, Trina, I must find he is new to all this, so he is completely by the book. Gonna be kind of hard to turn to a different way of thinking.
shatter his belief
And how might we do that?
with a maul.
Literally
No.
shatter.
I don't
Break his
know.
fucking kneecaps.
You know, when you're not necessarily fully initiated yet, he's got a mask on. It's hard to say that he's fully committed. I don't know. But it's kind of too late now. I don't think he's gonna do shit.
Well, I pull that emblem back out. Well, I am done down here. I guess I'll go back to the corridors and I will look over this a lot further.
All right, let's get to Bleakbell.
Okay. So the next 2.5 days go by without any incident. There is nothing that ends up boarding your ship or trying to eat you. It's just a normal sunrise, sunset sort of event or train of events. And on the 22nd day of the calendar, which is, why did that? There we go. There we go. You guys arrive in Bleakbell roughly about 11 a.m. Which it's actually not allowing me to change the time for some reason.
So we should have full everything, yeah.
Yeah, you guys should be full on hit dice, full. So
Yay!
do you probably need to click long rest a couple times for it to actually do its thing. And do that until you actually get all of your hit dice and stuff back.
Oh,
And then I would
wanted
just
to. Can I talk to Lloyd for a second?
yeah, definitely.
At one point during the journey, I kind of like find you by yourself, and I like, hey, Lloyd, check out this ring. I mean, Frederick. As I like look back and forth, check out this ring I got. I kind of show him the ring. It's like it helps me breathe in water. And Rena and Kai have one too. Do you have any cool stuff?
Huh? I mean, other than what I can do?
Yeah.
I mean, I have this pendant here.
What does that do?
Oh, well, we had a companion for a while, and he used this to summon a spirit, familiar.
Oh, can you use it?
I believe I have it. And yeah, I think I can. Now, can I, Brady, or is it not?
You can try.
I do not.
You haven't tried yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
That's cool.
So
I was just
you've
wondering.
been wearing the pendant for a while now, or at least you've had it on your person. And you don't know exactly what Cassiel had done in order to summon foe. But you try to do sort of the same sort of gesture that you would to summon Frederick. And every time you do it, you summon Frederick. And you tell Frederick, hey, I'm not calling you. Stop coming. And he's like, all right, boss, whatever. And then you call him. He's like, what's up, boss? And he's like, and you start getting frustrated and realize that you are unable to two different companions.
So it just works as something.
So the pendant itself, you're realizing, is not doing you any good. It's just there and
Okay.
looks pretty neat.
Okay, but does it still summon my familiar though?
You try taking it off
Or-
and moving it, and you're still able to summon Frederick. So the pendant essentially is, after you have done some testing, useless to you.
Okay, well, never mind. This is just a token from the past, I guess. What else? Got some cartographer tools, some files.
Wait, so like, what did
Hey,
it
that's
used to
good.
do? So,
Oh, some a familiar. But I guess it was he didn't quite make
oh, you kind
our
of cut
journey.
off there.
He said that he didn't quite make
Bottle
it
of
from the
acid,
journey.
bells, some flour. Oh,
Do you think it's because you can
Yeah.
only do because you already have a familiar?
potentially. Yeah, that might be it. But I don't know. I'll have to do some more tests. Also, bear blood, some griffin blood, griffin feathers, some bear pelt, hourglass, magnifying glass.
An hourglass. What does that do?
I pull it out and say, "Oh, okay, be careful." How much would this be able to? How much sand per hour, minutes? Like, does this have ready? Just an hour, or
Yeah, it's just an hour. I thought you were wanting to know the exact amount of sand. I was like, I don't fucking know, dude. Google
Like
it.
30,000
no,
grains.
no, just
There are 5,000 grains.
Is it an hour or a minute? I think is all he's wanting.
Okay, yeah, it's an hour. An hour
Well,
for Gower.
yeah. I pull it out and I say, "Well, yeah, I can use this to, keep track of time. It has about an hour's worth. Turn it the upside down way so the sand starts to go. When all the sand from the top gets to the bottom, an hour passes. That's
Cool.
pretty neat.
Well, yeah, if you ever want someone else to test out that pendant thing, I'd be willing to help you out there.
Yeah. In the future, I'll.
Alright. I like waddle off, as hobbits do.
And then as he leaves, I take out my mummified eyeball and look at it and say, "My precious." No.
Your mummified
actually wanna-
eyeball?
what-
Did you say you have a
Yeah.
mummified eyeball?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Look at that when I'm alone, Brady. See what I do.
And you got the
Yeah,
eyeball.
do to her.
I'm pretty
I don't
sure
even
you
know
got
if
it
It
from.
moves and blinks at me.
Yeah. Hold on. Now I gotta remember, where exactly did you find that? I'm pretty sure it was
The
in the
shop
wreckage.
in the
Oh yeah.
shop in the religious town, city.
Yeah.
Is it in
you-
Crayot?
Yeah, Crayot. I remember now. Yeah, you were able to get one thing, and it was that. So you pull out the eyeball, and currently the iris is looking away from you. But as you sort of sit it in your lap, or sit it on the table rather, on a flat surface and look at it, it spins and looks at you. And every time you move, it moves with you. Which you know that, one, it should be probably floating instead of like being like perfectly center in the jar. And it just continues to follow you, which it doesn't have any way to propel itself. So it's very curious as to how it's doing this. And as the ship is moving, you see the water that's inside sloshing, and it's not moving the eyeball at all.
Okay. I have a spell that is a ritual. So I will cast Rary's telepathic bond.
All right. Believe you've done that before.
It does. It since. Well,
It
I guess I'll try to
says
do this
among
like a
up to
day
8
before,
willing
so I don't-
creatures. Okay. Oh, you're doing that like as you guys get into Bleakbell?
I try to do it like the day before, so I can like get my spell slot back essentially. So you say it's 2 days.
You said that it's a ritual though, so you don't have to use a spell slot.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Then do that then.
Yeah.
Like it made me use a spell slot when I rolled it. So.
Oh yeah, if you're casting something as a ritual when you cast it, make sure to uncheck that box that says use a spell slot. Because if rituals don't take up your spell slots.
Okay. I could have sworn.
But yeah, this spell does last for an hour, so you do it just maybe a little bit before you guys actually come into port. Is that your goal?
Yep, and then also want to cast water breathing as well.
Okay. You ritual cast both those spells. We'll say you probably do the telepathic bond 10 minutes before you hit port, and then or 20 minutes before. Actually, you probably would do water breathing first because it lasts for 8 hours, and then you do the telepathic bond like roughly 10 minutes before you guys get into port. So, as the crew starts getting everything underway for you guys to make to the dock, you guys do make it to the dock. And the ship is getting tied down. Anchor is weighed, and are you guys able to see the map? It should have global illumination
Pitch
on
black.
there. Is it really?
It said I don't have a token on here?
Did that do it? I have token vision on. Whoops. Boom.
Yay! Map.
Man, this place is bleak.
Get out of here.
Hey, I didn't name it.
I didn't either. A random
I
generator
love that
did.
fake laugh.
Um,
Please tell me that's Thor's actual laugh.
No.
Like his real one.
As far as
The
you know,
deadpan laugh he's been doing the whole time is his fake laugh.
No.
this man doesn't laugh. He just gives light chuckles.
Interesting. All right, so you guys land into the harbor of Bleakbell. Oh, what's up?
When I
Ooh, Mr. Roboto. Uh-oh.
talk to the eyeball, or
The eyeball is not
you
a
can't hear?
creature.
oh, never mind then. I will.
You should cut out your eye and put that eye there.
Hell yeah. That's what heroes do.
Maybe I won't use Harper.
That is not Thorpe saying that though. That's the voice in your head saying that.
That's
Oh yeah.
Snoopy.
So you guys make it to Bleakbell. The ship weighs anchor in the docks, and you guys are able to leave the ship when you want. Ricard gathers his things, and he hastily goes down the gangplank. And as he gets down to the bottom and onto the dock, he kind of falls onto his hands and knees, and you can hear him praying out loud, going, "Thank you, Mistra, for seeking land. Finally. Oh, accursed ship. What a wretched journey. And he
Alright.
finishes his prayer on his knees, and he finally stands up.
I follow up behind him. So, how was your first ship faring?
I hope to never do that again.
So you're gonna be in Bleakbell forever?
No, I maybe will take a coach back to Krayot once I am done here. At least that would be my doing it. I would gladly pay this journey's fee.
That might be a tough one since you're like now part of a whole kit or whatever you want to call it. That
A syndicate.
or company or clan, but I don't know what you call yourself. But I don't think you necessarily get to make that many choices.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That is somewhat true. Of course, if there's no ship here, then a carriage is the only way.
My experience, it's
Oh. And before we part ways, question. I pull out the seal. To your goddess.
If you truly then you need to learn her tenets. You need to learn that you necessarily do overnight, many months, if not years, of worship.
I'm like looking at the seal.
but he's really smart.
Which I would think Mistra would embrace you. Is she not the goddess that gives you your powers currently? Do you know gift? Or are you like our friend? He looks over to Lloyd, Frederick here.
Unfortunately,
Have healing arts, so whoever they are of divine fate. That is for sure. I would gesture you to finding out who has given you your gift. That way that you can make sure that in your unyielding favor.
but the question would be where to start in that search.
You could start by finding a temple. Or perhaps maybe a secluded area. I know very little of the surrounding. Have a sacred place, maybe, that they could tell you and lead you to many answers for you. That is how I came to find Mistra.
Are you celibate?
He looks over to you and shakes his head. That is not one of her tenets, although the Inquisition does prefer that we do not practice intimacy with others in that form, as those type of bonds tend to be more destructive in our line of work.
Yeah, I asked if you're celibate, so yeah. I kind of snicker.
And he looks at you and goes, "Yes, we practice ligma."
No, you don't. I think you practice the opposite.
And he, you can see his face is scrunched to a smile. Huh, I was hoping maybe to get you with your own joke. The one that nearly cost us our lives.
I think it saved lives.
Perhaps. But no, I do not practice in those. Or, yes, I
Also,
follow the
how
tenets.
good is your hearing? Or did the word get around?
See, because of the amount of space between you and the Sharkin, when you had said it, I imagine you shouting it at the top of your
I
lungs.
was super far away. I
Yeah.
forgot about that, yeah. Also, it was probably talked about the whole.
Yeah. The sailor's like, man, I can't believe the midget was like, lick my balls. Ricard bows to you all and says, well, for what it's worth, I do appreciate the journey that we shared. I'm sure that our paths will cross while you remain within Bleakbell. And if they do, perhaps maybe we could share a meal together.
Indeed.
If you find a toe, can you let me know, please?
Certainly. And with that, he turns around and he walks forward, or somebody comes up. Yes, sir. Sir, are you part of the Inquisition? And this gentleman approaches, a very pale, probably mid-30s looking man. He does have that weapon strapped to his side, sheathed. And Ricard begins to talk with him. And you all, and he points towards you, the Inquisition, I was asked to show you towards the tavern for your accommodation.
We're not with the Inquisition.
Ah. You are guests of the Inquisition?
No.
Sure.
I start walking towards him.
Tavern is, regardless of who or why. Bleakbell.
Lead away.
And
I'm already next to him.
he smiles, and as he's turning his head, it quickly goes to a frown, and he, follow me then. And he...
Can I make a check of some sort? This dude seems suspicious as fuck.
Alright, what are you trying to figure out?
If he's leading us in the right direction as to if... I mean, would we know where the tavern is? Like, based
Not at
off
all.
of the roads and, like, are there signs and stuff?
From what you've seen, there
No
are
signs or
no
anything?
signs. Nope. The people that live in this small village don't need signs to know their way.
Mm.
It is not.
Okay.
I do not
It looks
remember
like
where this
exactly
came
the
from.
Same art.
Yeah, I think it's from an official module, but I can't piece together where. I do remember that I had to get rid of the name and some stuff that was like right here. So you can probably see my brush strokes from when I edited it.
You did a pretty good job.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you kindly. I'm just joking, that's not this guy.
It sounds
That's a
like that
different guy.
guy. He sounds creepy.
No. So yeah, you would have literally no way of knowing if he's leading you to the tavern or not. But Ricard is following him, and unless anybody in the party specifically doesn't, then I assume all of you do. You guys all can speak to each other via telepathic communication now. So you can talk to each other without actually speaking. Because of Lloyd. But it only lasts.
I'm saying in my head, curious. Can anyone hear me?
No.
I like look down towards Jim. So you can.
Yes.
And I assume this is your doing. I'll look at Fred. Good talk.
I'll take his silence as an affirmative.
I think he's switching from the laptop to his
I
phone.
think this guy is suspicious.
Hold on, so, and I say in my head, so we're the Inquisition?
Nobody expects the
Inquisition.
Bleakbell Inquisition.
I don't know if we should be telling people we're the Inquisition. They might take offense to that.
So,
I prefer to not be on the Inquisition's bad side.
I mean, I'm where. Look at you. No one thinks you're part of the
Hey.
Inquisition.
And me as well. My suit. I
Hmm.
don't.
I don't know.
14-year-old
He
boy.
asked if we were part of the Inquisition.
Could be one of those spreading of word things. But otherwise, I would like to know where the tavern is. Would like to away from my boat legs.
Maybe we can enjoy a nice glass of wine too.
Indeed. As
Wait. Can Seymour read our minds?
To have a certain intelligence,
Oh.
which he
then probably
does
not.
actually.
Does he have 7?
He's got 3, and it
Oh.
needs intelligence of 2
Two.
or more. So I would
So-
assume, Frederick, you can choose whether or not you cast it on Seymour.
Hear anything for the last like 2 or 3 minutes, so I think it might be better if I just go since the internet connection's really shoddy here. I'll do that. Yeah,
Saying that he was tasked to bring you guys to the tavern is all. So you didn't really miss much, except for Trina's very suspicious of old boy and doesn't trust him.
because I don't really want to a enclosed trap space at all anymore. If I were to cast this, where would I do this? That wouldn't be like obvious.
To cast what?
The telepathy.
Oh, I assumed you did it on the ship before you guys even
yeah.
got off. So you
Okay,
guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
you
I'll do
guys
that.
are already under the and you're talking to each other.
Okay.
It seems we'll just have to see what will happen then.
You base this campaign around that meme? Respect.
What if I did? I was driving and I was like, no one expects the Boridil Inquisition. I'm just
believe you
joking.
100%. No, I believe you. Inspiration
Nah, you-
comes in many forms.
It's wild. Wild magic surge. So old boy takes you from the dock and you guys start going towards more of the outskirts of town. So essentially you follow this path. To number 9. So he takes you there and he opens up the door. Right this way. I have your rooms already issued out to you. If you wish to bunk, you may. Otherwise, there is enough vacancy within the tavern for all of you to have your own quarters. Everything is paid for by the Inquisition for you, Lord. And Ricard holds up a hand and goes, not Lord.
Timothy.
You can call me Ricard. Yes, Ricard, yes. And as for you all, we do not get visitors to Bleakbell very often, so rent prices for a room have increased. If you wish to reduce the rent price, of course, you could all bunker down into a single room or 2, but it's 5 gold per room, per night. Do apologize for the inconvenience or hardship that it may incur. There are the woods if you wish to camp instead. After all,
Check up 2s. Maybe 3s per room. If we're able to. Unfamiliar
I don't mind
territory.
sharing.
very well. How many rooms would you like? Perhaps one for the lady and the others for the gentleman? Or are some of you perhaps... And he takes his fingers and puts them together like holding hands. Together?
Together, but We don't mind sharing room.
So all of you share a room.
We'll take 2 rooms.
And how long do you plan on staying with us here in Bleakbell? 5 days?
That's to be determined.
A 10-day, perhaps?
We'll say 5 days for now.
All right, very well. For 2 rooms, that'll come out to 50 gold. And there is a 10%
50 gold.
surcharge for the deposit, just in case you muddy up the room and we're unable to clean it. So a total of 55 gold for your stay. You will be refunded if you choose to leave early. Unless, of course, the tavern has been left in a condition that it was not previously in.
Very well. I pull out the gold and hand it to him.
Oh, an entrepreneur.
Let's see here.
So yeah, go ahead and subtract 55 gold pieces. Let me add to his sheet.
Do you serve dinner?
If you wish, we could add an additional charge, and you could have 3 square meals a day. They will be brought to your room, as we do not have a common...
Not take advantage of that, could we'd use the kitchens ourselves.
Very well, yes. And you could go to the general store and buy provisions for your cooking. Make sure that you keep the kitchen nice and tidy and clean when you're done. If you wouldn't
Of
mind.
course.
We do not have any sort of
Sounds
room
good.
service. It is all based on the tenants.
Of course.
Do you mind drawing us a quick map of the buildings you need to know about? Like, where is the general store?
The general store is in somewhat the center of town, and he draws a very crude map.
Okay.
Which actually, let me see. I should have. There we that. And I can call it General Store. Beautiful. So it should just show. You guys see that token? It says General Store underneath it.
Uninjured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I don't.
No, but everyone else does.
Yeah, I see it.
That's weird.
Mine just is a token that says uninjured.
Huh.
Shall we go injure the general store?
No need. You have the default permissions, so I want or something like that. Yeah, number 2 is
Yeah,
the
pretty
general
low.
store. Number 9 is the tavern, and it would see, I think, so Lloyd says thank you to Thorpe for purchasing their stay, and he will probably just hang out in the room. Yeah.
Well, I look to Trina. Hope you don't mind sharing a room with me. I am
Not at all.
tidy.
I think
Alright,
you, out
Matt.
of all of them, I would am the least worried of sharing a room with.
I set my things up. And it's like, alright, looks like we have some time of the day. I'm gonna head to the general store. Pick up some supplies for any meals that we'll need.
And
I would
perhaps,
like to go with you. I want to see how much of the town we can explore.
perhaps, if I your pockets, have you come to Bleakbell in search of entrepreneurship? I'm sure, with a man of your stature and elegance, that Lady Pearl's song would not mind making some time within her busy schedule to.
Ah, yes, oyster boogers. Everyone's favorite.
They are not oyster boogers.
Sounds quite fascinating. But I am, like you say. So if you happen to have any clients, I can definitely listen to their problems and help in any way I can.
Clients, you say? Are you a doctor?
Indeed, it is in the name.
Very interesting. I do not believe that she would very much please your presence then.
Oh, but it'd be a pleasure to meet her, though, at least. Like to meet all the faces
I
that
do
will
not
stay with
speak
both.
of Lady Pearlsong, no. I speak of her. Shaggy Vanessa, of course. Perhaps you've heard of her tales.
Fucking hag.
Hmm.
I do say that out loud.
And he looks to you. No, she is a lady of very, very many talents. And you will about her with respect. Else,
Say her name again.
we call her Shaggy Vanessa. Even though she is quite tidy in her place, unkept, and has earned her that nickname.
I'm like fixing the cuff of my suit jacket. She sounds quite fascinating.
Yes, she very much is. And if you are a doctor, perhaps maybe you could trade services. She does like learning of other medicinal purposes of things from far away, and you do look rather exotic, might I say. And he smiles and reveals his like really stained yellow teeth.
I can definitely put it on our. Does she live?
Oh, not
Well,
far.
journal.
Perhaps maybe 20 minutes hike outside of town to the east. There's a road, a trail off of the main venture that you should be able to see. Very hard to miss. Follow that deep into the forest, and eventually you'll come to her cottage.
This is the haggiest. Okay. I like walk away. Oh, is.
Noted. I'm like writing that information down in my journal. Well then.
I've heard that there's been people that are going missing or coming back different than when they left. Anything about this?
Perhaps maybe they've had such a wonderful time in Bleakbell that it's changed their lives for the better. Or maybe they have purchased pearls that have changed their entire life. I don't really follow your question, though, honestly. What do you mean they've changed? They're wiser? Richer?
No.
Well, I do not know what to tell you, dear. But I do agree. Those that come to Bleakbell do leave changed. And they yearn to come back. And he smiles again, revealing his yellow teeth. As they always come back.
In my head, I'm gonna tell everyone, okay, I'm sensing some red flags here.
And as I'm like
Anyone
looking at him with a raised eyebrow and smiling, like, saying in my head, "Suspicious as they come is as suspicious as they are." Well, thank you for the information.
Oh no, how long have I been? Have I talked about
The last thing you
have I-
said was, I know where the toe is.
Okay.
Okay.
but still kind of.
I'm out.
A couple times I said this is the when we were talking about the most cottage. That's when I said she's the haggiest hag, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where my toe is. Okay. And then you said you got some red flags, and I said, yeah, because this town's run by a hag.
Work for. Let's see, what was his name again? Let me look real quick. I'll work for the Lord Mayor. We passed the town hall on the way here. Perhaps you remember seeing the large building. And he points to his crudely drawn map, and it's this one that I've got a ping on right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could find me there in the reception area. But do not come seeking an audience with the mayor. The Lord Mayor is much too busy for travelers. But I can assist you if you need it.
As he's telling me that information, I'm like writing it into my notes.
This Lord Mayor's name?
Grabaris. Lord Mayor Grabaris.
Lord Mayor Grabaris.
Lord Mayor's his name. He's actually the marshal.
He's the marshal. Lord Mayor's not his name. You're quite small. Does that mean your brain is as small? I'm...
Kai starts laughing, just a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
It's truly. And he smiles
well,
again.
now that you're, I didn't take offense until now.
Oh, young one. Are you young or do you just... I really do apologize.
I flex and I say, does this look 12?
He goes, hold on, I need my reading glasses, and puts them on. Oh, what a physique. I think you'll do quite well in Bleakbell. And he smiles again. Of other things to tend to. And he pulls out a pocket watch. So, I hope you all get quite accommodated to your rooms. And if you wish, I will be at the reception or the town hall if you need me. Otherwise, enjoy your stay in Bleakbell. And he smiles again.
And put my hand across my chest and give him a bow.
In which he and walks out. And as he's walking out, all of you roll perception. Oh yeah. Do you guys want me to put your tokens out on the map? All of you hear him snickering to himself. As he closes the door, and as he walks by the window, he looks in and kind of stares at you. Even though you can't see his features, you just see his shadow. Like, these are like those really old-timey windows where everything's kind of like, you know what I'm talking about. Those like square blocks, those big ass square blocks. Yeah, so, and you see him stop and very, very slowly turn his head and start to gaze towards you guys, and he literally stands there for like 10 minutes before you start to hear him and walk away.
Well then, looks like we are going to be in the thick of it soon.
Looks like we need to murder an entire town.
I don't
That
wanna
was
be
a
in this
rather
town
strange individual.
Wait, who
Wait,
said that?
wasn't that in their heads?
Oh,
Okay, I was
where
like,
did you-
Like facts, I didn't even know it was there.
Is it the Office? Is it that one with Dwight where he's doing something and then
Yeah,
I say to Ricard, while still looking in that guy's direction, I'm like, keep your eyes open.
Yes, I don't believe I will be shutting them very often in this town. I can already see what the reports meant by madness. His coloration of his skin somewhat bothers me. Normally folks that live on the coast are of a much tanner complexion, but
No,
he's
I
as
wasn't gonna
pale as I've
say
ever seen.
because that's like super not cool to say, but I kind of agree.
He looks at you. Why is it not cool to say?
Never mind. Don't judge a book by its cover, man.
I'm not. I'm simply making a observation, as I'm sure the doctor has made already.
Sure.
Indeed.
Was he human?
Just be very careful. Sound doesn't feel right.
I agree. I knew it didn't feel right the moment I was given the notice that I was coming.
Well-
You don't do much of that, do you?
Yes. I urge you to as well.
Well, if you any trouble, since we've been on a trip with each other for so long, do not hesitate to call for help.
I will keep that in mind, and I do appreciate it, Doctor. Also, tell Lloyd they are coming. I do not win,
Oh,
and I do not know by which route, but they are on their way. That is the last that I will aid him, for I have definitely said too much in this regard. I should not have even told him that he was being reported to Lord Gower.
I think you kind of
I-
knew.
I think that if they do come, you should try your hardest to not be involved.
He looks at you. I agree. I have seen what all of you are capable of, and I do not wish to tussle with it at all. My skills lie in other methodologies of magic. I do not wish to use them for destruction, unless absolutely necessary.
Well, I would give you a handshake, but I know you wouldn't.
I appreciate courteous manner. I will be around town, I'm sure. You all have a wonderful stay in Bleakbell, and be safe.
Also, don't eat any weird muffins or any weird objects that seem specific to this town. Don't do it.
Okay.
I put my hand across my chest and give him a bow as well.
And he, just for like maybe a minute before he exits the inn and begins walking around town. So while you guys decide what you're going to do, I'm going to go take Rosie outside.
All right.
Go outside! Rosie!
Well,
Fucking Shaggy Lindsay or whatever. I mean, come on.
Shaggy Vanessa!
Thing. Same fucking thing.
Shaggy Lindsay.
Here, eat her pearls or whatever.
Buy a
They're-
pearl and like suddenly become her little minion of some sort.
Hey, do you hate your skin tan? Try my pearls. Everybody likes them.
Mm.
This. I have some theories.
Well, we can RP it here.
I don't know if I want Brady to know my theories.
Oh. Well, all I know is it is suspicious as all bloody hell.
guess I can RP this. I'll say, so, you know, we are either going to be working for this hag, or whatever you want to call her, or we're going to be killing her.
Well, I
Alright,
hope to
let's
do.
What makes you say that?
Well, I told you about my toe story, right? My toes.
Yeah.
Kai does not know the
hag
story.
did- Oh. So I met this hag and she was like a total bitch. Huge bummer. Like, she chopped off all my toes and I like wiggle my 3 toes. So she's hid my toes all the way around and she has to have, she either has my toe and I'm supposed to destroy her, or she knows where my toe is and is
So why do you want your
she's-
toe so much?
because if I collect all of my toes and then I give them back to the hag, she's gonna free my entire family.
Oh. Gotcha.
Also,
You don't want that?
my family.
I directed the question towards you.
What was the question?
The question was, do you not want him to get his family back?
Oh no,
Basically.
I obviously want him to get his family back. I think I missed the part about how he had to collect his toe in order to get them back.
Yeah, I have to collect all of 7 of my missing toes.
What if
And-
Shaggy Vanessa knows where your toes are?
Yeah, see, that's kind of the problem, right? Like, she's either working with Rust or bidding. And I'm sorry, but
Well,
it's gonna have to go that way.
fascinating individual to me. A protector of sorts of this town.
I don't think protector's not the right word. I think
Probably evil overlord.
you know about
Thanks.
Stockholm syndrome, don't you?
Of course. What about it?
I think that's kind of what this town do.
What about, or what if the weirdness with this town has to do with that?
I don't know. Could be a coincidence. Or her fault.
Hmm.
Hey, Brady, are you back?
I am.
I'm kind of going off the idea that my character would know more about hags than a normal person. Okay.
Have strange names. I'll also say that you know that they typically deal with either favors or weird requests and things like that. They usually don't make any sense, at least in the present,
To
and
us,
sometimes they
yeah.
make sense in the future. And the last thing you know is that they do have a sort of tier system, a hierarchy. You know that named hags are usually decently powerful. Hags that are named auntie are even more powerful. And hags that are named grandmother are all powerful in the hag world. And from what you do know is that Rusty May is a grandmother.
Oh. Great.
I'm
Did
just
you say
joking.
that's the- Oh. So
But no,
yeah, she's all powerful,
she's
super
a
hag.
pretty, yeah, she's one of the top notch for sure. You know that hags are also usually, actually roll me a Arcana.
on hags.
Same. Oh, you're talking in character.
Yeah. Oh, you said Arcana.
Yeah, we can keep the same roll of 9.
I mean,
Just
it's the
what
same
is?
modifier.
Oh, is it? Okay. So 10. I'll say that the other thing that you don't know if it's true or not, but you've noticed that most hags don't really live in the same sort of territory or region. So you're not sure if they work together or if they're all like enemies or if there's some sort of like love-hate relationship between hags. But you've noticed that typically they have their own territories, their own towns that they essentially quote unquote look over or rule.
That makes sense. It's like for my idea that we're either gonna have to destroy her or work for her. I think that's it. Well, let's go deal with this hag.
I think we should kind of get a lay of the town first,
Why?
so that we know our exit strategy. How bad the rest of the town is.
Oh, or we could go talk to Spaghetti Monster. Wait, no, what's her name? Lusty Mate. No. Frazzle Dazzle.
Shaggy Vanessa.
Shaggy Vanessa. That's right.
Lusty May. Interesting. I don't think you want a Rule 34 of that. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it really
maybe.
depends.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess it really just depends on
It's
what
not
you're
as
into.
bad as some of them.
That's some Rule 34 material if I've seen it.
Have you looked at an Innis hag? Ugh.
Yeah, that's different.
An Innis hag? An Innis craft?
Oh.
No. The actual
Yeah, no,
Innis
yeah.
hag.
Let me. No. There's
Oh,
your Annis
fuck.
hag.
Yeah.
Now that's a different story.
Oh man.
Those are one of
See?
the biggest. The first BBEGs I ever fought against was an Innis hag.
Oh, interesting.
She's grody.
Oh, now I've imported
the
Innis
flowers,
craft.
though.
I think I'll keep her.
Makes her less creepy, I guess.
Yeah, just wait till you meet one.
Well, I would say he definitely has my curiosity of meeting her. Especially
Well, let's
since
go.
she has her curiosities of outside magic. I mean, outside medicine. Wouldn't mind seeing what her thoughts are. Do understand your wariness for the possibility of having to work for.
Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Well, we'll go with Trina's option first. We need to look around town to get a nice layout.
Or we could go now.
No. I would like to rest. We've been on the ship for the past few days.
Resting. So we can go now.
We need to be in tip-top form, Jim.
I am.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
feel
pretty
free.
sure
Be, but
all
I
of you
took
should
quite a
go.
hit. No, just kidding. I would. So I'm going to go explore the town.
Outside of the town.
No. I'm gonna go explore the town, and then either I can meet you guys back here, or we can meet. Then we can go see the hag. Sorry, Vanessa.
Or we could go to the hag's house.
Let's go, Trina.
Yeah. Kai's like,
Sir.
Kai just yells, "Y'all are indecisive," and he walks out.
I've decided.
Yeah, I let's go. Before it gets too late.
Okay.
All right, Seymour, let's go.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're going on an adventure. I love adventures. We didn't get to do much on the ship, Master. We didn't get to do a lot. Can we play fetch? Can we play fetch, please? Oh, I want to play fetch so bad. Oh, the floaty disc thing's my favorite. Because it floats in the air. and it's really hard to catch, but it can be used to drink water from too. Can we play with the floaty disc thing? Do you have it? Do you have the floaty? And you're all hearing this in your head. Oh, please, 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 please.
I hop on him and throw it.
As you throw it, he sits and he looks. Can I go? 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 Go, 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 go. Can I go? What'd you say?
The case.
Okay.
That's my
And then he goes,
catchword for
rah!
my dog.
And he starts to go, and he jumps very majestically and catches it before it gets in the ground. Oh, wow, this is so fun. Oh, wow. Hold on. Ooh, you. He comes up to Kai and tosses the frisbee at his feet, and he sits and he stares at Kai in the face, and his eyes glaze down to the frisbee, and then he looks at Kai in the eyes again. Is he going to throw it? 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 Is he going to throw it?
Back towards Joe.
I'm
And
on
as
Oh, you're hold on. What?
Throws it at Jim's head.
yeah, he's riding on Seymour,
Oh yeah, I throw it.
and Seymour turns around and sits real quick. Oh, can I go? 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 Can I go?
him. Case.
Oh, and he starts going after it, and he's like, oh, wow, so fun, so fun. And he comes back, and he's like, oh, wowie, wow, oh, what's that? And he drops the disc and starts to run down the road.
And by this time, we are like on our way to like the general store at this point.
Okay. So he's running down towards this tree. And as he's going, there's a gentleman that's out in the middle of the street. Seymour comes like burrowing through. He holds the stick up and like points it towards Seymour, and he's like, no, back, bad dog, back. And Seymour stops. He's like, should I attack? Should I get him? Should I get him?
Knowing though.
Oh dear.
Away, you mutt! Take your dog away! Do not step here!
Oh, so sorry to step on the path. What's wrong?
No, they are burrowing. Do not step. You will crush them. Do not step here. And he comes a little bit forward with his stick and starts to poke it. And Seymour's kind of like wincing as if you like, you know, he's acting like he's about to hit Seymour in the face. And Seymour's like doing that, close his eyes and move his head away. I don't like this guy, master. And he gets up and leaves. Do not step here.
I get off Seymour and walk up towards him.
You back! Do not step! And he
Where does he?
you in the chest very lightly, but as he continues to move forward, he's trying to get you to move faster, so he's being a little harsher with it. It obviously doesn't hurt you because he's a peasant. Ah! Bork.
Does it feel magical or anything? It's just a stick.
It's just a stick, yeah.
I was like,
Give
"Are
me
you done?"
back! Go! Go away! Go around! Other way! There are many paths! Don't take this one! Leave! We don't want outsiders here.
I throw the stick down the road a different way and say chase. Can you show again. Oh, I was in the wrong spot. We're going towards this tree.
Correct,
We
yeah,
came
that
from
tree.
That direction. I
Yeah,
throw
so
it
you
up
came
this
from the...
way.
So, like, you get stopped about right here.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not at the tree. So the gentleman was essentially, like, right here, and he's trying to stop you from moving any forward on the dirt path. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
I just, like, toss the stick back and have Seymour go forward and continue going.
Okay. So Seymour runs, grabs the stick, and then he goes, okay, do we back to him? You threw it. I'm confused. Who do I give it?
Perfect. Now let's keep going.
Okay. And he kind of whimpers and walks back towards the inn, and the gentleman runs up, grabs the stick, and stay away. And he goes back, and he stands to lean on it again. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Okay. So as he gets back and starts leaning on his stick, every now and then you see him twitch. Like, his head sort of like, you know, a twitch. Like, his head almost meets his shoulder, and it's just a real quick motion, and then he goes back to standing normal. And he'll be scratching his face, and his like hand will come off his face and like sporadically tremor. And then he goes back to doing it.
So he's crazy. Egg and her drugs. Interesting.
As for the rest of you going towards the general store, as you're walking, as you're walking through, you do hear like somebody shouting. You're not exactly sure what is being shouted or who is being shouted at. But as you're walking, you guys see in one of the alleyways huddled over something. And they're just looking at it and they're like, don't touch it. No. Let it rest. Let it rest. Don't wake it. But we have to see. We have to see if it's true. No, we can't do that. Don't.
Is this like a normal kid situation or like a Children of the Corn situation?
Both.
Hmm.
I'm just joking. I don't know what you mean by Children of the Corn situation. I know the reference,
As in, like,
but I also
really
don't.
fucking creepy.
I mean, they're just hanging out in an alleyway, all huddled around something. Like, some of them are down with their arms on their knees, kind of just looking over at something. Past, they look back and put it away, adults, put it away. And they grab
What
a
do you
bag
have there, little ones?
just dirt and rocks. Do you want a rock?
Are you lying? It sounds like you found something.
And nothing. That's why we're leaving, Abby.
Where's your parents? Shall we go see if they can... You found?
They're working
Where at?
at the Pearl Farm, of course. For Lady
Did you
Pearl
hesitate?
Song. No. We don't have anything. Go on your way. You're strangers. We shouldn't talk to strangers. Especially outsiders. Yeah.
Now I'm not a stranger anymore, huh?
She does have a point. Well, just because we know her name, she doesn't know our name. One of the... Rel! No! They're strangers!
I will out my hand and shake her hand. It's nice to meet you, Ro.
Do you want to see what we found? Rel!
I would love to see what you found. And
The boys-
if you show me, I'll let you pet my bird.
And as you say that, all the boys are like looking at each other. Fine. We'll show you. But you're not gonna like it. And they bring over
Alright, let's see it.
a bag, and they plop it down, and it's got some weight to it. There, we found it. I promise we found it.
Do you want
As
to pull
you-
it out of the bag?
You can, if you really want to see.
I'll peek inside.
And it's a
Let me
dead
heart
cat.
rate this. I am very upset now.
And as you're looking, there's a bunch of...
Is Trina visually upset?
I believe so.
Oh.
Is
Kai just,
Trina...
Yeah, she's grossed out.
Kai just states
Yeah.
the obvious and like, well, you did want to see it.
She just
Yeah.
mostly frowns. I mean, she's used to seeing death, so it's not a big deal. Alright, well, this poor creature deserves a proper burial, don't you think, children?
Well, that's what she's getting. That's why we put the worms on her.
Well, let's go bury her.
The fuck?
No, the worms have to eat her. That's how they do. The worms can't get strong and bring us a proper fertile soil if they don't eat her.
It's the circle of life as he looks at Cezanne looks at Trina.
I understand. But wouldn't it be better if we buried her in the woods? Wouldn't that be a better resting place for her? With the worms?
Look around, you can see that these children have been attempting something. There are a bunch of random holes and other various gardening equipment and stuff like that. We need... I'm
Also, my name is
6.
Kai, by the way.
Hi, Kai. I'm Rel. We're not strangers anymore. Trina taught me. Can I pet your pretty bird?
Yes. His name is Beltran, but please pet gently.
I can do that. I won't be as rough as we were with the cat.
Hold on, y'all. Yo,
We didn't
Rel!
found
I just-
him alive.
Kai just kind of like is in deep thought. He's like, hold on, you.
Don't mind
What do you
Rel.
mean by that?
Rel doesn't know what she's talking about. We found the cat as is, and we did not touch it. That's how you get diseases. But
Can
we
I,
did. You said if
have
we
you-
pet her with a stick, that she would be more susceptible to play. Rel!
Yeah, can I roll an insight for that?
No need. You can tell they're lying.
Oh, all right.
It's so easy to tell when children are lying. There's no need for an insight.
Well, Thorpe is just raising an eyebrow and like puts a hand on Trina's shoulder.
I won't use the stick this time, I promise. And she holds out a hand and starts going for bed. And she starts to calmly pet him. What a pretty bird. What a pretty bird. And then she
His
plucks
name's
a feather.
Beltran.
Look, I
Excuse
got a
you.
feather from him. It fell off.
I'll pluck it back from her.
But it fell off of him.
It did not. I was watching.
No, it did. Beltran
Trina
squawks
hands him
in
back the bag.
displeasement.
I'll pet him lightly and give him a treat and apologize.
The oldest boy grabs the bag. Thanks, Trina. But we really should be going.
Agreed.
And he goes back to one of the holes that they dug, and he empties out the contents of the bag. Rel, you have to do it, since you've messed everything up. But I don't want to. You have to. You messed it up.
Guy goes up to the boy that has the bag. Can I watch? Do y'all need help?
Sure. You can watch, but you can't partake. Rel has to do it. I don't want to. You have to. You messed it up. You have to do it. And she comes up and she ends up kneeling over the grave that they've dug for the cat. Go on. And she looks up to the oldest boy, and Kai, you can see visibly that she has tears in her eyes, and she's like, do I really have to? Do it. So she reaches into the hole, grabs one of the worms, and holds it up, and she's like, and eats it. More? I thought I only had to eat one. You have to eat more, Rel. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
What
doesn't work?
You wouldn't understand. You're not from here. You're outsiders.
Kai kind of looked. Try me.
No. These worms, they're special. Mom and Dad cultivated them from their garden. If they eat the animal, you become more like the animal, they say. So, Rel is gonna be our cat. For when we play hide and seek, she'll be able to climb trees, and she'll be able to fall from great distance. And she'll be able to see in the darkness and catch mice. And perhaps purr. Rel, and the boy grabs another one and puts it up to her face. Eat. You have to eat. You're gonna be our cat.
As this is all going on, Thorpe pulls out his journal and is like noting everything that they are saying currently.
Okay.
I look towards Varel and it's like, you sure you want to do that? And then
she looks from you to the worm, back to you, and she grabs the worm and starts to eat it, and you can tell she's disgusted. Do you want to be one of our pets too? How old are you? 14?
Where'd
you get that? And he points to your sword. You're 14. You shouldn't have one of those. Can we seize it? Yes, can we seize your sword? Perhaps it'll make it easier in getting our pets together.
No. For your own safety, you cannot see this.
Could you show us? And Rel, crying and sobbing, is like, please, can we see?
I kind of just, I don't unsheath it, but I take it off my back.
And they all gather around. Yes, this is what we need. And then we can finish what we've started. We won't have to use sticks anymore. For it, sir?
What do you have?
Well, my father owns the general store, I'm sure.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to your father about it and then go.
No. He can't know about it. But I can tell him someone came in on 2 gold.
2 gold, he says. He kind of.
Why can't your dad know about this? Because
Kai kind of is laughing hysterically as well.
It's not that he can't know. I don't want him to.
And why not?
Because I don't want him to. I don't
Because
have to explain to you.
What you're doing is wrong?
Nothing wrong about it. We're doing what Ma and Pa taught us.
I look towards Trina and just say, who are we to tell them that what they're doing is wrong? And he kind of smiles.
Can't afford them. I could get you one. I know how to get in the farm. They're worth a lot.
I look towards both of them. A pearl does sound nice.
I believe the pearl's worth at least 50 gold. Oh, can you?
I just smile at them. Kai, you should get moving. Very well. Let's go, Trina.
Don't make any promises, Kai.
Oh, no, no, no.
It's interesting to meet you, Rel.
Rel. And you too, Trina. And she covers her mouth, obviously about to vomit. I don't sit down. You have to, at least for another bite. And then you... If you say so. And she eats one more worm. And after she chews it, it sits and she grips her stomach. And Caillou can tell, let them out, Rel. And she reaches over and puts all fours onto the ground over the cat's grave. And as she vomits more worms than she has consumed.
What?
Hundreds of worms start to pour out of her mouth. Quick, quick! And they cover the grave with the dirt. Good job, Rel. You did it. I think we need a deer. That will require a lot of work. That's why we're gonna get a pearl for him. With your sword, we can get our deer, and we need the deer. Unless perhaps you want to get the deer for us, and we could still give you the pearl.
Dear? Okay.
And the boy claps his hands and starts to sort of rub them together. It's all coming together, y'all. Our garden is going to be the best. One of the boys comes up and starts Rel's mouth, and occasionally she spits, and you see another worm fly out. As it hits the ground, it burrows almost instantly into the ground.
I'll look toward
We've all done it.
her.
Well, yeah, we all have to take turns making our garden. And the deer is going to be a lot, so we're all going to have to partake. Do you think you could have the deer by tomorrow? Because tonight, I'll go and get you a pearl.
Just point me in the direction of the deer.
And he points to the east. That way. Near, Shaggy Vanessa's place. You should... Yeah,
Do you
a
need
lot.
it dead or alive?
Could we watch you kill it? Yeah, can we watch?
I don't see why not.
Are you going now?
I mean, I can. But I would need the pearl?
I'll show you the pearl, and you'll kill the deer, and then we'll make our exchange. The body for the pearl.
Okay.
And he holds out a hand for a handshake.
I kind of grab that little forearm handshake.
And he
Like,
kind of looks at you confused.
And then, like, as I grab him, like, his forearm is getting hot as well. And I just tell him and I look him in the eyes, like, make sure you have that pearl, okay?
He's like, he pulls his arm away and like rubs it. He's like, that was strange. Yeah, we'll have the pearl, I promise. And he looks very uneasy with what just happened. Let's and they all pick up their stuff and start to walk in the alleyway a little bit more and dip behind one of the houses.
I kind of examine the area if I can, like where the garden and all that is.
You can see that there are several holes. There's one that is still uncovered. All the rest of them are various sizes, but they've all definitely been reburied or redug. The one that you see that's left is pretty large. Not large enough for a deer, but large enough for, I don't know, maybe a medium-sized.
Okay.
And die and then submerge itself back in the dirt. And this is happening all over the garden.
Okay. I'll leave it alone and head towards the east. I guess the east gate.
Okay. So while he's going towards the east, the rest of you are let me see. This should work. Oh, it didn't. Damn. We'll go ahead and end tonight. But for whatever reason, it reverted back.
It's
So
cool.
fix that for next time.
Sweet.
What in the... What?
Nice. This is some Pet Cemetery type shit.
Right?
Fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, Papa Boy out here trying to like save his family, and you guys.
It's a virtue.
I know, right? Like, God. It's not...
Jim does not have
God
that.
damn it.
Hey.
You.
I have trouble focusing.
That is also true.
she just wants to do her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back. Everybody, and I've got reasons for it, and it will be probably revealed, if not next session, within the next like 2 or 3 for sure. But essentially, the overall theme of this campaign should come to light. They've already got a really big hint, and it happened to be quite a few have picked up on it yet. Probably not. It'd be fun. So hope you enjoyed, and until we see you next time, peace.